Alright, time for my round 2 game of this month's MSEM GP. Playing blue-red Ristad versus alittleblank, who is on... Are they going to start? Yeah, who is on some sort of Legends aggro deck. I'm on the play, which is good. This is a no-lander, which is bad. This hand doesn't have enough removal. So I'm just really hoping that Monkey Shines finds me into removal. I guess that's doable. So in that case, I actually want to keep lands in my hand because I don't want to run out of removal. So I guess I keep one Reconstructed Adept and then just... Yeah, I guess that's fine. Yeah, I'll keep one Reconstructed Adept in hand. My opponent is going to keep 7. I should also keep 7. Or I kept 6, I mean. So this matchup is interesting because my deck plays a bunch of removal, but their deck plays a bunch of small creatures, and they could also have hate bears and stuff. So the matchup mostly depends on if I can get my removal going. And right now I don't really have my removal going, so that is a problem. Okay, I need to name red black or blue red. So this is going to dig for removal. If it doesn't find removal, I will bin everything that I find. Antithesis is interesting, but doesn't do what I need it to do right now, so yeah, okay, there we go. There's removals number 1. So Void Flare into Reconstructed Adept Void Flare, that's 2 removal spells. If they have a 1-drop that they attack with, then Adept might actually just be able to also trade with a 1 toughness thing, which would be fun. Ragavan, okay. Yeah, I guess I go Void Flare or Monkey Shines Void Flare. Is there actually? So I think I go Monkey Shines and then I can use the fetch land to shuffle away the second card off the Monkey Shines if I don't like what I find. If I find 2 cards that I both like, then I guess that's unfortunate, but that feels unlikely. So this fetches Mountain, this fetches Island. Yeah, it seems pretty good. Well, yeah, both of these cards aren't very good for me right now, so I will bin both of them. Crossfire Geysers, which isn't that useful either, but that's fine. I'll just stop looking for net lands now. How close is Zirrktide to being cast? Reasonably close. But yeah, I'm just going to Void Flare Ragavan probably, and then next turn I'll probably Void Flare or whatever they play. And they might if they play a 2-drop, it probably doesn't have haste, so then I can just... Okay, they're just going to start swinging with Ragavan. I will fetch Mountain and kill it. If they play a Hate Bear, that would also be kind of annoying. Huh. Oh, they're stuck on lands. That's really unfortunate for them. Spell Pierce. That doesn't... no, they do play some number of non-creature spells. I mean, this could matter. How much does Zirrktide cost right now? Nowhere near reduced enough for me to do anything with. So I could play this on tap to fetch Ares Pillar, but I don't think I'm ever fetching Ares Pillar, or I'm never going to be using Ares Pillar this game. So I should just try to preserve my life total and do this. Yeah. If they just still don't have if they just still keep missing lands, I might just be able to kill their mana dork and then that mass... Okay, they're not going to get mana screwed this game. The Lost in Seeking. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Do I let this thing resolve? Because, I could kill the mana dork right now, and then that prevents them from going prevents them from going more nuts. So then I think I let this resolve, because if they have a jack, then that hits the jackpot, because then Reconstructed Adept can kill the jack that swings in. So I guess that's what I'm hoping for. I'm really hoping they play a hasty guy so that I can get value off the adept blocking. Corolla. Oh wait, I actually do need to kill the Lost in Seeking before it starts going nuts. I think I can... No, I can still wait one more. But yeah, this thing is definitely what needs to get killed here with a Void Flare. I guess I just have to go for it now. I can actually hardcast Zirrktide next turn, since I drew enough lands to do that. I mean, I kill Lost in Seeking, and then I Zirrktide make a 2/2. 2/2 actually does block quite well into their deck, or into this board, so maybe that's fine. Okay, well, now I need to get rid of this thing before it grows anymore. Control fire if you create a token. This thing could be really scary. Okay, well, that's really convenient. I'll keep up Void Flare again. It's a Void Flare plus... I could actually go Void Flare into Zirrktide. I think I'd rather just keep stuff up right now, right? And I can play this tapped. So then Void Flare, and then maybe Spell Pierce hits Assemble the party, and that'd be really nice. Yeah, seems reasonable. And then I'll be able to play a cheaper Zirrktide, and then Zirrktide can start making 2/2s, which interacts quite well with their board. So what am I mostly worried about? If they could... Maybe if they have some way of making tokens after they get some guys down, then I need to worry about 4/4s, but I can always just void flare this guy in response to whatever token maker they have, so I think it's still pretty safe. Well, actually, how much does assemble the party cost right now? Let me double check. So it costs 1 less for each legendary. What? Oh, okay, they're going to do that thing. Sure. Emperor's Retainer. That is, yeah, that's annoying. I let it resolve though because I don't need it to not, or I don't really care that much about not letting it resolve, so I'll just let it happen. Like they might get greedy and try to attack this turn. White flare onto Emperor's Returner could be a big blowout for them, or could be a big blowout. Okay, okay, they're swinging now. Oh, if this thing connects, this thing buffs something. I mean that's annoying, but I think that's fine mostly. So Void Flare here, kill that. I mean, I think that's a good exchange. Yeah, that gets two things out of the way. And I do still take 3 in the face, but I managed to trade away 2 of my guys, so I'm pretty happy with this outcome. Yeah, but yeah, they get the banner, which is annoying, but that's fine. Zirrktide should still be big enough where I don't need to, like, they can attack into it, but I can probably protect it reasonably well. Also, this Void Flare needs to be exiled. I will fetch before because I don't want to draw land anymore. Come on. That's still, like, I guess it's still fine. I keep this in hand for discard fodder. I don't think I really need discard fodder right now, right? But I might draw into Antithesis later on. But I think having lands in play does help me, so like, yeah, I'll just do this. 1, 2, 3. It is only reduced by 3. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, sure. Play Zirrktide, make the thing. They can move this thing over, but then they can't attack past the illusion. So I think that's fine still. Best case scenario for me is that they have assembled the party and then try to go for a really big assemble and then get you spell pierce it. Worst case is that they can assemble for X equals 2 just off these 2 lands right now. Or oh, okay, they could also have that. That's pretty bad for me. Or oh, wait. No, it doesn't change anything because my illusion has that illusion ability. So I wonder if I should have been more proactive in gunning their guys down. Like I could have killed this thing before it activated, which would have. I mean, if I killed this earlier, then it would have prevented a lot of things from happening in this game because they wouldn't have had as much mana, I think. Or at least I kill this on my turn. Their turn, they play down more things, but they don't get to draw cards off of it. Or I could have gone Void Flare into Zero at that turn, right? Some form of that. Lost in Seeking. Okay, well that resolves. Assemble the party. There we go. I managed to spell pierce something. Yeah, they can do that. I forgot. Well, it at least taps down their guys. Because, yeah, that taps down their guys for a jack swing. But now I'm really far behind on board, so, not sure how I'm going to do this. And yeah, there goes Zirrktide. So, what? I mean, that's not a bad start. I guess I just have to YOLO this thing. So play this minus and then hope to hit stuff. Yeah, that's what has to happen. Come on. I can't cast Zirrktide right now, but I might just dead on board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, possibly. Probably dead, but I'm probably dead, but like I guess it's worth trying. Consider. That's not useful. Okay, well I'm plussing this thing and hopefully I've 2 lands which aren't useful right now. Okay, what am I even looking for? I need to so best possible top deck would be best possible top deck next turn would be Panya into top decking a land off planet. Yeah, I think I just bomb every land I find. Or maybe I keep the island on top because then play island, consider planet, that digs me 2 cards deep, and then that gets me like what are my mana breakpoints right now? If I consider here, then I think I keep the. No, wait. If I want the Panya out, then I will need to draw the Panya first. Alright, yeah, and then I just bomb both lands and pass. Maybe I should have Zirrktide minused that turn when I play out Zirrktide. Like, yeah, it would have died, but also I think it would have been fine. Like, I might stat draw a card, and then they just replay out their guy, but then that gives me a turn to draw into more stuff. And that means, like, I just don't insta-lose to my opponent being able to kill my guy and then attack through into Zirrktide. They're going to start moving the banners around. Moving banner onto Jack. You know, if this thing flipped me Void Player last turn, I think I might have been able to do stuff. Like if I killed Jack that turn, yeah, I would have at least been in a better spot. When you, oh wait, it's from hand. Okay, never mind. This thing isn't going to get light multi. Okay, this thing actually synergizes really badly with Exile casting. Maybe I shouldn't be playing that many plants then, if that's the case. 1, 2, 3. Are they not going face? I guess they don't have lethal on me if they go face, so they're just killing my planeswalker. So I'm taking only 9, huh? That's less than I expected. Wait, so but that also means my Panya, like the Panya out doesn't exist anymore. They're going to keep moving the banners around. What's my out now? It's going to be like some sort of 0 minus into removal spell into removal spell. I'm still not out of the woods if that happens though. That's a lot of considers. That's not useful. Okay, well in this case, anyways, I just need to get rid of this thing first. Just try to draw. Portal Fracture isn't useful. Do I main phase consider? Yeah, I guess I main phase considers because there's like no. Okay, I'm just dead on board then, right? I could consider into a burn spell, which would. I'm still dead to Jack afterwards. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. I think I could have done it if I played a little bit better, but whatever. So now I get to just bring in. I take out Spell Pierce because it's useless in this matchup. I bring in all the removal spells I have, which apparently I actually have less removal spells than I remembered. I board out Ares Pillar. Okay, what else do I board out? I think I board out the planets, actually. Are crests good? Crests are reasonably like their guys are still pretty small though, so I don't think cresting them does that much. I'd rather just have a bunch of removal spells. But I'll keep in one crest in case. And then that's useful, I guess, but like not as much. They get to bring in hate bears post board, which is annoying, but my deck is reasonably decent against hate bears just because all my things are still pretty cheap after getting hate beared. But since they do have hate bears, I'll board out a planet because that thing loses pretty hard to hate, or that thing gets taxed twice by hate bears, which I don't like. Actually, if I want to counter stuff, I would be trying to counter. Actually, Cursory is fine. Like this sort of split, and then I just accept that assemble party isn't counterable, because if they're going to assemble, then they probably will at least have they're going to try to have at least 2 mana up so that they can play around the taxing counters. Wait, what did I board out? Like, what did I board back in? I can board back into Zirrat. Like Zirrat's still pretty good. How much? What's their grave hate? I don't think they're going to bring in their grave hate because it's Pinnacle of Purity, which I don't graveyard enough for them to bring in a dead card like that. I think Zirrat still is in. Like worst case, it's 2 mana, bounce something, draw a card, which is still reasonable. I'll try to run this. Actually, since they have hate bear, do I want to go up in lands? Because like if I go down to 20 lands, I need to spend my early turns just Xeroxing or using my dig spells for lands. No, I think it's fine. I'm never going to actually activate Ares Player this game anyways, so might as well take it out. Alright, I guess I keep this hand and then just try to dig for lands. Like this hand has an answer curve, which I want to have. They keep 6. Alright. So I'm just bomb everything but lands. Those aren't lands, so yes, I need to bend these guys, and that's a land, which is good, but it's also a land that hurts me, which is bad, but that's fine. Next turn I get to curve Restad into a removal spell, which is really good for me because that gets Restad into play, and that's going to make all my future stuff really cheap. And Crystal Cavern is still going to keep pinging me, but whatever, it's fine. Pick up. Oh, what? Did I like? Huh. Okay. I wasn't expecting them to actually bring in Grave Hate here, but sure, I guess that's something you can do. I think that's actually good for me, or that's something I don't really care about, because that card is basically a dead card. My main concern here is that they have too many creatures for me to deal with, and that's not a creature that I need to worry about, so like I'm pretty happy with that outcome. And yeah, just Restad, play Restad, keep up the Void Flares, Void Flare wherever they play. Next turn I get to Planet, and hold up either Cursory Glance or Void Flare. And yeah, they can keep pinnacling me, but I don't really mind. Does it matter which one? I don't think it really does. I mean, I guess it prevents Restad Ultimate from doing too much, but that's not really a problem for me either, because like Restad Ultimate's never going to happen, or never going to happen this game unless I'm already super winning. Anyways, that's dying. Mountain. Okay, that's good. So I just swing here, play Planet, hold up everything else. I guess I'll play Planet now because why not? Huh. Adept's pretty decent. So yeah, attack here, hold up either Void Flare or Cursory Glance. I can actually Cursory Glance without tapping Crystal Caverns, which is nice. I think I actually Cursory Glance over whatever. Yeah, I Cursory Glance instead of Void Flaring if it comes down to it, or I can Cursory Glance and Void Flare. Yeah, I should just Cursory Glance instead of Void Flaring then. Sure, Exile Consider. I mean, I guess it does mean Zirrkt's never getting cast, but that's fine. Another Lost in Seeking. I should just Void Flare that thing, right? You know, Cursory Glance lets me actually trigger Planet. Yeah, sure, I'll do this. And that's another Magmatic Torrent. They're just stuck on one land. Sure, that's convenient for me. And Mountain, 1, 2, 3. I can cast Zirrkt now, right? Yeah. And I should just do that because that gets me, because I might not be able to cast it later on, and I can still hold up Void Flare due to Restad. Yeah, it seems pretty good. I'll swing with the Restad, cast Zirrkt, start plussing, make the guy, and pass the turn. Yeah, so like Pinnacle Parity doesn't really stop me from casting Zirrkt, although they were also like they really didn't have much because they're stuck on one land, so I had a lot of time to just do stuff. Planet's getting exiled. Yeah, that thing's dying. Maybe I shouldn't be so liberal with my removal spells because I might also still need to. Well, no, they're stuck on one land versus my board state right now. I don't think they're like ever getting back up on their feet. Although I might be overconfident right now, so yeah, who knows? Yeah, let's activate Restad so that I can start pushing more damage. I probably just have lethal on my opponent next turn if they don't have anything. Should I play this untapped? Yeah, might as well, just to prevent any shenanigans from happening. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they're just dead next turn if they don't have anything. I mean, they're still stuck on one land right now, so that's pretty unfortunate for them. Does mean I need to win next game on the play or on the draw, which is a lot harder when, yeah, because like I really want to be able to turn 1 remove their guy, but I also want to. My deck also relies on doing turn 1 cantrip to actually dig for lands. So if that doesn't work out, like if I don't get a good opening hand, this thing can go really south really quickly. That said though, yeah, let's jam this again. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of early removal. 8 if you count Soul Pierce as removal. Or no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I wasn't counting the Fire Rage. Yeah, so 9/10 pieces of early removal. So I think I should. It should be reasonably, or I should have a reasonable chance of just drawing a bunch of removal against my opponent's small creatures. But it's totally possible that I just get a bad draw. For example, this starting. No, this starting hand's really good. Yeah, it even has my Planeswalker to help me recoup afterward. Yeah, okay, yeah, this hand's excellent, and I will keep it. And that's a snap keep. I guess it sort of is awkward in that I can't exactly do the ideal curve. No, I can still do the ideal curve. Okay, that's getting killed. Cursory Glance, that's pretty useful. And I should just kill it now so that it doesn't Mad Dork, or doesn't become a Mad Dork for later. I guess tapping out now is bad if they have exactly Jack. No, it still doesn't matter. I guess if they have 2 1-drops, I play Restad, Fire Erasure, one of the 1-drops. So I'm really hoping that I have a single 2-drop because like that's the best way for them to chip. That's the best way for the trades to work out for me. Okay, I mean that's fine. Naming instant, yeah, that does make things slightly more annoying for me. Actually, significantly more annoying for me since I can't Restad and then pop off Fire Erasure against Tal. So I do need to tap out. It means I can't tap out for Restad this turn. So I guess it just means that I need to pay full price for Fire Rager. So it also means I can't Cursory Glance. So what? What's the worst thing they can do next turn if I just don't kill that? And like I don't need to kill that thing right now, but if I just jam Restad here, like if I pass the turn, I'm just holding up Fire Rager against whatever they play. Plus, and I do want my Cursory Glances to actually hit stuff because like that. So yeah, what's the worst thing they can do next turn? Probably just jam a bunch of 1-drops. I guess Sifong Fu could also happen. It is just jam a bunch of 1-drops, right? I guess they could assemble the party. How big of a party can they assemble next turn? They can assemble a 2-drop. What does that imply for me? Do they have more than 1 Hate Bear? No, Tal's their only Hate Bear in their deck. So, like, I think it's... Okay, maybe they have removal for Restad. What then? I don't think that changes anything. Okay, in that case, yeah, I think I can just afford to wait on the Fire Eraser. Also, the Tracy Glances don't counter Assemble the Party, which could turn out really badly for me. Like, if I don't draw any more removal, and then I have to find some way to use my Tracy Glances for what they're supposed to be used for. But, like, if all they do is play a 3-drop that doesn't impact the board, then I'm fine just Fire Erasing the Tau, and then playing Restad to turn afterwards, and then hopefully Cursing Glance lands against something else, and then, yeah. Actually, I could have just held on the Void Flare, right? Yeah, because then they wouldn't be able to Emperor's Returner. That's kind of scary, but that's fine. I might just trade Restad for it later this turn, or sometime later. That's another 2-drop. Jack. Yeah, that's really scary. In fact, do I need to kill that over killing Tau? Also, I'm realizing that if I just held the Void Flare, if they wanted to go Tau on, they couldn't have gone Tau next that turn if I was holding on to Void Flare instead of... Yeah, so that was actually a mistake. That was a huge mistake. Yeah. Or is it as it enters? Okay, so that it would have changed things. I would still be sort of stuck in this position, but I mean, I would have known to hold my Void Flare for Tau. But yeah, now I need to deal with this, and then I think I killed Tau anyways because that enables the rest of my cards to actually do stuff. Or like I could kill Jack right now, and then I take 7 in the face. Or, I mean, I could kill Tau right now, and then just counter everything else they play from now on. I guess that's a plan. Like it's not great, but it's fine, and I'll just like try to trade off Restad because having Jack out does incentivize them to do everything pre-combat, and that helps me or at least helps me with my planning. Do I need to play this untapped? Technically not right now. Yeah, technically I don't because I can Restad, and then Restad's making blue mana, and I'm never casting anything anyways if I don't have blue mana. Alright, sure, I'll just do this and pass. If they have Ferocious Flame, then that's really bad for me. I'm looking to trade Restad off if that works out for me. They're incentivized to play everything pre-combat, so hopefully Cursing Glance hits something before Restad gets traded off. And hopefully this thing helps me refill afterward. Okay, they just have it. I guess I have to do it. Yeah, I have to do that. Or else I won't be able to cast anything else this turn, so yeah, I have to do that. Velies, they did gain life. They did gain or lose life this turn. Okay, well that's bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Or no, I'm looking at 10 damage to face. Yeah, okay, that's bad. Zirrktide, not cheap enough right now. Okay, well I think I got run over by my opponent's deck because I didn't have enough removal. Or I mean, I used my removal on the things I didn't need to use removal on, right? If I killed Jack instead of Tau, I might have actually had a chance. Like, yeah, all my spells have been gimped for the rest of the game, but I think I still would have been fine. At least I wouldn't have lost so quickly, right? And so anyways, what's my plan now? Because this thing YOLOing doesn't actually do anything. Does this YOLOing actually get me anywhere? This thing could YOLO into a Void Flare. I need to play this untapped in order to cast anything, so that doesn't work. Zirrktide's not castable right now. Actually, no, this thing can YOLO me into untapped land plus Void Flare. So then that kills Jack, and it kills this thing, and then they don't have any other plays. This blocks Jack. Okay, well, that's my only out right now. Darn. Alright, sure, they got me. So looks like this deck still loses pretty hard to just like having way too many stuff. Anyways, let's check replays. This is not... Okay, there we go. Anyways, so I think Game 3 was one of those games that's interesting. So I didn't need to snap block Void Flare right there. I could have waited a turn. In which case, like if they play Tau here, I guess I get to choose between whether I want to Void Flare Tau or Void Flare that. I wouldn't be able to Void Flare Tau after it comes in because it's not an ETB, it's a replacement effect. So then that means, so I probably would still kill that because then I'm just wasting mana otherwise, I think. Yeah. So this naming instant, what happens if I just played Restad instead? I mean, they kill Restad and then I get 3 mana next turn to work with. Yeah, they would just go Jack, kill Restad, and then the turn afterwards, so then get slammed for a pretty big amount. Okay, so what if I kill Jack instead of killing Tau? Or, if I kill Jack instead, I still take 4, so I take 7 this turn. So I actually take 1 more than, yeah, I take 7, so I would be at 13. And then I'm looking at this hand. I mean, I can still Cursory Glance wherever they play. Although they're still smacking me with Tau plus... They're still smacking me for 5 a turn. But I get to keep up Cursory Glance. So I mean, I just keep up Cursory Glance this turn. So what? Yeah, be keeping up Cursory Glance instead of playing with Dodd. They drew Veld, so I mean, it doesn't matter here. So here I get smacked for 4. I go down to 9. They might want to play Veld, but I don't have any targets, so they probably don't play Veld, but they're probably holding a Ferocious Flame anyways. So yeah, it doesn't really make a difference here. And then so they're probably just holding everything. Honestly, yeah, they're just holding everything in hand because they're still winning on board. So then turn afterwards, I play Ristad. They blame it on their turn, and then I don't have enough mana left to counter. Yeah, so I still lose this. I'm pretty sure. So that yeah, I don't think there was any way I was winning this sequence. I need basically one more removal spell. Yeah, I need one more removal spell in my opening hand so that I could kill the Jack and then stabilize from there. What about game 1? I think game 1 was probably also winnable. Ragban, yeah, I could have actually held. I mean, I always kill Ragavan there. So they play that. I could have gone Reconstructed, add a Void Flare onto that thing. Or Lost in Seeking. Okay, so here I let Resolve. I could have actually killed this thing before this thing resolved, which prevents them from getting more mana, but then this thing gets counters, and then I don't want that to happen. Or do I? I'm not sure if I care that much, but I just let them do everything they want to do. And then, okay, so Reconstructed Addif goes on to kills Void and Lost in Seeking. So yeah, there was an opportunity for me to Void Flare their whatever this thing's called, or okay, so no, that was incorrect. This Void Flare needed to be exiled, so I couldn't go Void Flare into Zirrktide. So yeah, I could have killed this thing before they untapped, and then that would have, I mean, it would have been a scary play because they could have Jack from hand, which I really wanted Void Flare for, and also I really wanted Void Flare to tap on my opponent's turn because then that makes Reconstructed add 1/2, which means I can ambush block something. I mean, you can trade with one of the one toughness guys. So maybe I could have upkeeped kill that. Just so I let them activate that thing once, which lets them cantrip 1 card. It could have been worse for me, but yeah. So at this point, Zirrktide still costs 4 mana because I didn't flip over enough spells this game. I could have Zirrktide minused, but I decided not to because I didn't want to play a 4 mana bounce spell to draw a card. That would still have been reasonable, right? It's like Zirrktide minus on Karoa. It at least stems bleeding somewhat and lets me draw a card, which would have been like it would have actually made me draw. So like Zirrktide would be free to just kill, but I slowed my opponent down, which I think would probably have mattered more than just having a random creature, having a random 2/2 that dies everything in play. Yeah, and they did play around Spell Pierce with Assemble the Party, so there's that. If I killed this guy earlier, or if I bounced this guy, they wouldn't have been able to play around Spell Pierce with, or play around Spell Pierce with Assemble, so like that does sort of matter there. And yeah, I've been up 1 card from here, so then, I mean, this turn still goes mostly expected, like, except I actually do match to Spell Pierce to Assemble, or maybe they just don't assemble or whatever. They just replay out their Karoa, or they play Lost in Seeking, replay Karoa. They actually do get extra counter on Lost in Seeking that way. And then that would be like 1 card deeper, so like maybe this thing minusing actually gets me somewhere or whatever, or maybe I get the chance to plus before I minus or whatever. And yeah, well, anyways, I still have 2 more chances. I still need to win. I could still win my next 2 games, so anyways, yeah.